This is going to sound weird, but the dumbs are real. What are the dumbs? See my thumb? No, not that kind of dumbs. The deep underground military bases. Now, I'm not in the military, so how do I know? Well, a couple reasons. First is my sister used to work for a company down in Bloomington that had a military contract making bombs. And she had to hand deliver them, not speedy delivery, not FedEx, not UPS, not email, not fax, but hand deliver these special papers to the Twin Cities Army ammunition plant over here in Arden Hills. And today we still have the 34th Red Bull Infantry, Army Reserves, the Sheriff's Department, City Hall, and a lot of other heavy muscle protecting that whole quadrant. So when she'd get to the building, she had to go past the counter, and I'm sure she had to show credentials. But on this particular day, there was a new person who wasn't familiar with her. So I don't know if either somebody that my sister knew recognized her and helped her get past security, or if they had to call someone. But anyway, so my sister's telling me, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then we went down, into the elevators. And I'm like, elevators? What? All those buildings over there are only 1 or 2 stories tall. So immediately I'm thinking, oh, is that for the disabled vets that might work there? They would certainly need an elevator. She's like, oh, no. No, they go down. I'm like, down? How many levels are there? Oh, 4 or 5. I'm like, so there's elevators that go down 4 or 5 levels over there at the ammo plant. And she's like, yeah. And she said, in fact, the tunnels are so large that they have golf carts and bicycles and all kinds of things that the guys would use to get around. And she would have to find a particular office, wherever it was that she had to report to hand deliver these papers. Well, no one here, at least where I live, knows that there's tunnels underneath there. And if you tell them that there's tunnels, they're going to think you're crazy or weird. You're nuts. But she was down in them. But here's the other thing. Being as I live nearby, at night, I could hear them. I could hear the trains. I could hear the rumbling. I could hear the noises. I could hear the sounds. They were right underneath me, whooshing. And actually, a couple of my other neighbors have heard it too. And a gentleman that I know that lives up the road, closer to the ammo plant, he could hear them. And he said at times during the day, he could hear the trains going through the tunnels as well. And the strange thing was, during the presidential switch from Trump to Biden, I noticed that the sounds were getting less and less. It was more quiet. The trains were less frequent. Until now, a couple years later, it's basically stopped. But what I have noticed is that around the corner off of 96 and Highway 10, there's a real loosey-goosey kind of a gate. It's just a fence that's open. And I began to notice that all kinds of earth movers were lined up over there. And then in the back, there were all kinds of pickup trucks. It looked like there'd be people working there, but none of the dump trucks were moving. But every day, or every day that I would go by, the dump trucks would move. They were switched around. But why weren't they moving during the day? Well, I have a feeling that they were dumping earth and dirt back into these tunnels, at least back into the elevator shafts. Now, I don't know if the military is getting ready to surrender this property to the city and for development. I kind of still don't think so. But what I do know is that the noise stopped when the Biden administration took over, and it seems to me that they're filling in the tunnels now. I find that very interesting. I know, it sounds weird, doesn't it?